Hey folks, this is Brent Easton with Easton Farms. Well, I noticed in that last video I never did really get one solid clip of kind of all the sheep together. And I still don't have all the sheep together. All the rams are not in here, but this is the majority of the ewes and the lambs. There's still 3 back this way. And the 2 over there are 2 rams, the registered rams. So thought I'd get kind of a clip of everybody kind of together so you kind of get a better scale of how many animals there are. So I just opened up this side of the paddock this morning and gave them some fresh feed. Everybody's happy and doing good. Pretty hot here today. I don't know, it must be close to 90 already. It's probably almost 11 o'clock. So yeah, everybody's doing really good. The new additions that were a little on the thin side, they've really packed on weight since I've had them here. So the majority of those are really starting to come up kind of in equal quality or condition to mine. So I mean, they're all mine, but I mean my old flock when I say mine. But yeah, they're browsing away. They like the seed heads and picking stuff out of the lower canopy. So yeah, they're doing great. I think just about everybody is cleaned up on the back and kind of firmed up as far as their manure. I think that they had just been feeding them some pretty rich high protein feed, maybe some alfalfa or something. They were about out of feed where they were at, and so I don't know what their food source was, but some of them were fairly dirty on the back, and you know, it's always a cause for concern because of parasite load and stuff. But and they may have had a parasite load building in them as they graze down closer to the ground. They get down into a heavier parasite load in the forage. So you know, that could be. We've got so much sericea here; it's a natural dewormer. Or so it's told anyway. I'm not real sure, but anyway, everybody's cleaned up. I don't think there's a single one that's still loose or dirty on the back. Not that I've seen today. There was 1 or 2 yesterday that still had some remnants on them, but they clean up fairly quick. And of course they're on really good forage and being moved around, so I thought everybody would be fine. We didn't have any lump jaw or anything like that, so there wasn't anything too concerning, just some condition issues, but nothing some really good forage and rotational grazing couldn't fix as far as I knew. They were good enough otherwise I was pretty confident taking a chance on them, so yeah, I didn't really consider taking any chance on them. So our forage is good enough, and I'm confident enough in the management now that I think we could probably deal fairly well with some issues. Of course, you wouldn't want to invite anything in, but you know, hoof rot or foot rot or anything like that, definitely want to steer clear from. And you can usually tell if there's animals in a group that are serious, that are past being able to rebound. They'd probably stick out like a sore thumb. So I didn't see anything like that in any of these. I felt really good about taking that lot. Of course, some of these are my old flock, but the new ones as far as they're concerned. I just love watching them move. I like the way they move around the paddocks and graze. The new ones have settled down really well. They won't let me pet them, but like my old flock. But you know, I can walk around through them without too much problem, without spooking anybody too bad. As long as I don't make any too sudden moves, jumping towards anybody or something. But yeah, they're doing good. This is one of the lambs. This is the ram lamb that was born here this summer, just a few weeks ago. Man, he's growing like a weed. Their growth rate is just phenomenal. It's amazing how fast they can grow. And that's the little freckled ewe up there. She's doing really good. And even the one that I thought was an older one, I haven't gotten their papers yet after they were sent in to be transferred and stuff. But so I don't have ages on any of these, but some of these I think are like 5 and 6 years old. A couple of them I think are, and that's probably the couple right there. But they had lost condition worse than the others, and she was sunk in pretty good up there. Of course, she's still got some wool on her, but she's gained, I bet she's gained 10 pounds since she's been here. And that's just in, what, a week or so. We're in the time of summer, late summer, early fall now, that, you know, they'll go there late summer and get lazy, and they loaf around a lot in the shade, and they don't care too much about putting on a lot of heavy weight that they have to cool. They're kind of like our deer population. They've got a summer condition, a fall condition, a winter condition, and a spring condition. They start shedding weight in spring so that they can deal with our heat here. Anyway, that's my feeling and my theory. But the sheep kind of follow the same trajectory as far as weight gain and weight loss. They kind of have a summer condition that they're comfortable with. They'll shed a few pounds, I think, probably to deal with the heat of summer. And then about this time of year, they really start packing gains on, normally. Now, that's where Greg Judy has said before, he had a video out about this time last year talking about ewes that stay skinny and fail to gain, to get rid of those. Now, you know, same thing. When you get into this time of year and they're not packing on gains fast like everybody else, that's a sure sign of a problem. So she's probably got a high parasite load. She may be more susceptible, and it could just be circumstance. You don't know. A lot of people are awfully quick to go ahead and cull, and that's fine to be aggressive on culling. I mean, that's everybody's prerogative. I'm a little more conservative than that. If I have a problem animal, I'll, you know, if it needs treated, I'll treat it. I'm not going to let one suffer, and I'll give it a chance to come back and recover and keep an eye on it. Now, if it's an animal that has perpetual problem, I'm right there with everybody. You know, cull that animal and get it out of the flock, because you don't really need to have time and effort invested into one that's just going to be a constant problem. But a lot of times these problems are just environmental, and you know, an animal might have a problem once and never have it again. And if you cull that animal, especially if you're building a flock and you're short on animals anyway, you know, that animal has to be replaced at fairly high cost and effort. And I don't know, my opinion is just be careful about being too aggressive on culling, at least for my operation, and that's worked out really well for me. So I've got one that's got to be culled out because she's got a bad udder and she couldn't feed her twins this past spring. And you know, we've got plenty of food, and part of their job here is just being land managers. So I was just fine with keeping her. Now I don't want her to breed and drop another pair of lambs that she can't milk or can't feed milk to. But I'm in no great hurry to cull and get her out because, you know, because of food resources. You know, that's my circumstances, and I'm fortunate that they're that way. But if you're in a situation where food's a concern, then you definitely don't need to be keeping extra animals that aren't making you gains. So anyway, kind of got off on a tangent there. I didn't really intend to go into when I started the video, but that's all right. Just some thoughts on some random things that a person will encounter trying to keep animals like that. Anyway, I'm going to leave this off here. I got things to do. Should have been already gone doing them. Life of a farmer. But anyway, yeah, thanks for joining us, and I'll talk to everybody later. Everybody take care. Bye.